If you've ever gone through and looked at the Golden Ticket Awards top 50 steel coasters, you know that some of the things in there are a little bit off. You don't even need to have written half the coasters on there to realize that the opinions aren't exactly representative of the coaster community. I also cannot stress enough that I'm not trying to personally insult anyone who votes in these awards or say that they're a bad person or anything. I'm just here to make fun of the list that's supposed to be collective overall opinions of coaster enthusiasts. Also, I need to mention that I will be using the list from 2019 for this video, as there were no Golden Ticket Awards in 2020. So let's get into this, but in order to show you what pedestal they're putting these coasters on, here are some of the coasters that failed to make the list. Not all these I would have in there, but there is the argument for them, so I should mention them. Alright, these coasters, according to the Golden Ticket Award voters, did not make the cut for the top 50 steel coasters. Soaring with Dragon, Goliath at Wallaby Holland, Superman El Ultimo Escape, Flying Aces, Copperhead Strike, Nefeskessen, Katoon, iSpeed/Redfire, Anaconda at Gold Reef City, Dueling Dragons in China, Max Force, Flash/Hypercoaster, Coaster Through the Clouds, Flying Dinosaur, Joker at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, Twisted Cyclone, Taiga, Dodonpa, Pyrenees, Storm Chaser, Megalights, Hyperion, Raptor Clones, Medusa Steel Coaster, Lek Coaster, Untamed, Hokage, Dinoconda, Agenika, but X2 is on there, literally just great value Agenika, Dishverdes Kernon, and get this, DC Rivals Hypercoaster. In my opinion, DC Rivals is a top 5 coaster in the world, and that's a very common opinion, so the fact that it didn't make the Golden Ticket Awards top 50 steel coasters kinda says something about the integrity and whether it truly represents the opinions of coaster enthusiasts. So at 50 they have TATSU, the B&M Flyer at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Now there are definitely a bunch of coasters left off the top 50 that I would put over TATSU, but in the grand scheme of things, I think that 50 is fair. Number 49 is really where the blasphemy starts. Well, actually, I should mention that it's perfectly fine to have unpopular opinions. I don't mean to come off the wrong way and say that one person should put this coaster this high or this low, especially since I haven't written a lot of these. I'm just saying that if this is a collection of opinions from so-called roller coaster experts, half the picks should not be ridiculous. They should be more representative of coaster enthusiasts as a whole. If you think that a coaster I think is in a crazy spot is ranked good, that's perfectly fine. I'm just saying that most people probably wouldn't agree from what I've seen, so I don't think that this list is representative. But for the 49 pick, they had Goliath at Six Flags Magic Mountain, a hypercoaster with one airtime moment, at number 49.
Hey, where's the
Airtime.
I don't think there's any
Airtime.
You want something?
Airtime.
And what's even crazier is that Goliath is on here, but Titan at Over Texas isn't, which is literally just a better version of Goliath. Number 48 was Superman Ride of Steel at Six Flags America. This is probably around where I'd have it, but again, some coasters that missed the list are way better than it. It's also kind of weird how they had the Six Flags America version, but not Ride of Steel at Darien Lake, which is widely considered to be ever so slightly better than the America version. Their number 47 pick brings us to a coaster at LISEBERG. It's not Helix, so what could it be? Balder? Oh wait, no, that's not a wooden coaster. Oh, I know! LISEBERGBANAN! Said literally no one ever! Yeah, it's an intense classic, but no. On so many levels, just stop. Number 46, they had Raging Bull at Six Flags Great America. Alright, I'm a very big fan of Raging Bull. In the back row, it's one of the few B&M hypers with ejected airtime, 3 moments of it to be exact. But it just isn't better than Ride of Steel in my opinion, and it's definitely not a top 50 steel coaster. Full Throttle at number 45, again, great coaster, but not top 50 worthy. Alrighty, so at 44 we have, maybe the pick of the video that will make you want to question your existence. WHIZZER is according to this ranking the best coaster at Six Flags Great America, and it's the 44th best coaster in the world. Do I really need to say any more? The 43 spot holds Black Mamba. I actually think that this is a great placement, good job. Steel Curtain is at number 42, and I'm actually surprised that's even on this list because typically Golden Ticket Award voters are slow to realizing that new coasters exist. Like for example, Millennium Force won the award for Best Steel Coaster in 2015 after Fury 325 opened, but now Fury 325 has won the award a number of times. Like, did Fury just become somehow magically miles better after 1 year of operation? But back to the list, CANNIBAL at Lagoon was at 41. I think that's a bit low for a coaster that does practically everything well, but its placement is definitely harmed by the fact that the coaster is in Utah. There's a good bit of bias towards major parks like Cedar Point and Kings Island in this list. They had KUMBA in the 40 spot, and that's maybe a little high for me, but I can respect it because most enthusiasts are enamored with KUMBA. Wicked Cyclone at Six Flags New England occupies the 39 spot, and this one I think is actually kind of low. I've been hearing from a lot of people that Wicked Cyclone is an underrated ride with strong ejector airtime, and the ride just lasts forever. At number 38, they picked VERBOLTEN at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. You know, if you really value theming, I guess, but it's kinda still just no. This ride is literally just a helix, surprise element, and drop. Definitely doesn't produce a top 50 ride to me and to most people. At 37, they had Twisted Timbers. Man, that is insanely low. I'm actually surprised that it's not higher considering that it's located at a top tier Cedar Fair park, where they are most biased. Well, and because of how the ride looks amazing. Cheetah Hunt is at 36. For me, this is definitely a high placement. There are some coasters below that I think look to destroy it, but depending on what you value in coasters, this could be a reasonable spot. At 35, they have TRON Light Cycle Power Run at Disneyland Shanghai, the only Chinese coaster on this list. Most people are definitely going to say that this is high, but I'm actually fine with this placement because it seems from the POV that the indoor section makes it look like there's nothing below you, like there's just an endless abyss, and I love things like that. If any of you have seen how high I rank Valor even, you would know that I love me a good dive coaster, and in my opinion, Yukon Striker seems like the best dive out there. But still, they put it as the 34th best steel coaster in the world, and that makes me feel like a dive coaster hater. Number 34 in the world is a bit up there, and I think that everyone watching this can agree. 33 is occupied by Banshee at Kings Island, and well, at least it isn't as crazy as where they ranked its B&M brother Diamondback, but we'll get to that in part 2. I'm just going to say right now that the top 25 is way more wild than numbers 50 through 26. And number 32 is Alpengeist. I personally disagree with this placement. I think it should be a bit lower, probably not on this list, but I know a lot of people love Alpengeist, so that could make it worthy of being here, as it isn't just the opinion of one person. 31 is Montu. I know a lot of people might have it a bit higher, but this is probably the spot where I'd have it. The 30 spot was given to Goliath at Six Flags over Georgia. This again I think is a decent pick. From what I've heard, Goliath is some of the strongest B&M hyper airtime, maybe a little bit high for it though. At 29, another pick that I don't think is too bad, Behemoth at Canada's Wonderland. Wow, the Walmart Willy Wonka Awards are really getting on a roll here. 3 good picks in a row. Picking some real zingers. You knew it couldn't last that long. At 28, they decided on Intimidator at Carowinds. If what I've heard is true, this might be the worst B&M hypercoaster in the United States, and it's above the likes of DC Rivals, Carnan, and Twisted Timbers. A stoned monkey could gather collective opinions of coaster enthusiasts better than Amusement Today. If they were really Amusement Today, it would make more sense for them to not pick coasters like the WHIZZER as the best coasters, just because they're classics. They would focus on the coasters of today. You know what the most sensible thing to follow up the worst B&M hypercoaster in North America with is? How about possibly the best intimate hypercoaster in the world? That is of course until next year. At 27 they have Skyrush. Like, I understand there's some people that don't like the restraints and rank it lower, but I feel like the number of people that do that are minuscule compared to the people that rave about it. And finally, at 26, they had New Texas Giant. Sure, New Texas Giant is great and all, but I think that we can all agree that RMC has perfected their craft a ton since then. I mean, you can't tell me that the original RMC is better than the behemoth that is Hokage, built just last year and didn't make the list. So that's about going to wrap up this video, and I'll have my reaction to the top 25 coming soon, so stay put. But before we end it, we are going to have a little trivia time. This is going to work the exact same as halftime trivia, just answer correctly in the comments and you'll get a chance at a shoutout. The first 3 people to correctly answer will be the ones who get the shoutout. So today's question is, what year were the first Golden Ticket Awards held in? Pretty simple question, so just answer in the comments and good luck. Anyways, I hope you'll have a great day. Remember, if you enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button, it helps a ton. Also, leave any suggestions, thoughts, or video ideas in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya.